Hallelujah. See, problem number 2 of Samson. It was a problem of prayerlessness. The Samson tragedy was rooted in prayerlessness. He had no personal altar of prayer with God. No personal altar of prayer with God. No altar of relationship. And hear me today. He had the height of ministry that lacked depth of intimacy. Say that again. He had the height of ministry that was lacking in depth of intimacy. You must understand that it is depth that sustains height. The iroko tree can only be an iroko tree if it has iroko root. An iroko tree cannot survive on mango root. Hear me, brothers and sisters. When your height exceeds your depth, collapse is inevitable. When you come to a point in life and ministry when your height has exceeded your depth, then your collapse is compulsory. When your outer life is bigger than your inner life, when your outward life is bigger than your inward life with God, then a collapse is inevitable. You remember the story of the sower seed that fell upon the rock, and then it had no depth of earth. It sprang up after a while, and then it was gone. That is the ministry. That is the mystery behind ministries that have no destiny. Flourish for a while. Everything just happening like fire. And then under 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, nothing more to be heard. Samson had no time for intimacy with God. And do you know, if you read the account of Samson, he prayed only twice. His whole life, through the Bible, only 2 prayers. The first prayer he prayed, he was looking for water to drink when he was thirsty. The second prayer he prayed, he was already bound hands and foot, his eyes plucked out, his hair cut off. Oh God, give me mercy again. Return back to me again. That was the only time he prayed. Those who have no time to pray in the time of peace will have plenty of time to pray in the time of trouble. The only time he prayed was when he was looking for water to drink, and when now he was a captive in the prison of the Philistines. Samson sought God for what he could do for him, not for who God was. Hear this. Those who seek to use God, there are people who seek to use God. Those who seek to use God end up useless in life. Anybody who seeks to use God, the pastor only prays when it is time to preach. He only prays when he needs another car. He only prays when he needs a house, and so on and so forth. Those who seek to use God end up useless in life. There are people who seek God's hand, and there are those who seek his face. Seeking his face is intimacy. Seeking his hand is a desire to use God. But those who seek his hand only end up empty-handed. Ask Samson. All he was looking for was water. All he was looking for was let me avenge my enemies. No personal prayer altar. And as you are seated here right now, how strong is your altar of relationship with God? In the university, I used to ask people this question. I said, if for one reason or the other there was no church, if for one reason or the other there was no church, maybe there was a terrible government policy that banned churches from existing, God forbid, like it happened in China. If for one reason or the other no church services were holding, and it happened for 5 years, What will the quality of your spiritual life be after 5 years? When the church resumes back 5 years later, there are churches that will be deserted. People have already gone into the world. There are some churches, even the pastor will not return to the altar. He has mingled with the world within that 5 years. And